You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals, presented by Hazelton Honda.
Since 1953, the electric bell has been given to the best high school football team in Scranton. Over the years, the schools have changed, but the competitiveness has remained the same. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob Hyde, joined topside today by Jan Cechak, former Tunkhannock area coach, and Hannah O'Reilly join us shortly on the sideline. What a great afternoon for high school football, and when it comes to rivalries in our area, it might not get any bigger than today's game.
Today is the biggest rivalry in the county. We have the Battle of the Bell, Bob, the Invaders versus the Knights.
Well, the Knights are coming off a loss to North Pocono last week. They did play well in the second half, and they want to get the ball to our Toyota Spotlight player, that's Charlie Thompson.
Charlie Thompson was their leading receiver last year with almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also plays linebacker, and this young man, the junior, is a spark plug for the Knights.
Well, the Invaders lost a game last week, but off-season, they may have the biggest loss. They lost their starting quarterback, Caden Merrifield, who was involved in an automobile accident. He is out for the season. They will start a freshman at quarterback, Samson Repshis. He needs to get the ball probably to their best wide receiver, and that's our other Toyota Spotlight player, and that's Nick Forsetti.
Nick Forsetti is the heart and soul of this team. His best friend is on the sideline this season, and he has taken over the reins in terms of leadership on and off the field, and Coach Harisnak has all the faith in the world in Nick Forsetti.
Sunny, beautiful day. Let's check in now with Allie Debicki from the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Hey there, everybody. I am Chief Meteorologist Allie Debicki here with your Friday Night Rivals forecast. Saturday afternoon looking gorgeous to play some football. Will be a little bit warmer than normal. Could have the kids in the short sleeves. You can see temperatures holding to the mid to upper 70s by kickoff as we get closer to the end of the game. Looking at some more cloud cover, temperatures will start to drop just a bit, low to mid 70s for Scranton at West Scranton. That's a look at your forecast. We'll send it over now to the field.
Scranton has taken the bell 16 times, including a big win over West last year. It's Scranton and West Scranton in the Battle of the Bell. Next.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Out of the helmet they come. Here come the Scranton Knights trying to get a second win over their rivals from West Scranton. The balloons fly, the cheerleaders welcome in, and West Scranton trying to pull off the upset today. The Invaders hitting the field on a beautiful afternoon for football in Lackawanna County. Third member of our crew, as always, is Hannah. And Hannah, we talked about a little last night, but good crowd on hand, and that's something that's changed over a week ago.
We are so excited to be here today at the long-awaited Bell game. A lot of people probably didn't think we would make it to this point, but we're here and these guys are ready to play. Now, each team was given 900 tickets each for today's game, but you had to purchase it ahead of time. We also have both teams' bands, cheerleaders, and student sections, which is something we haven't seen in a while. So everyone's very excited for a great game here at Scranton Memorial Stadium. And Bob and Jan, you guys excited?
We are excited. First time doing this rivalry in a long time, Jan, and you couldn't ask for better weather. We should have a good game. Both teams coming in 0-1, but really, when it comes down to the season, they'll look back. This is the game they're going to remember.
Talking to both of our spotlight players of the game, they said it doesn't matter what this record is right now. This is their game of the year, and they are both charged up. The electricity is flowing on a Saturday afternoon in Scranton Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Scranton won the toss. They want the ball. Scranton in the, West Scranton. There you see, they're in their blue jerseys with the W on the side. I don't think that's changed as far as I went to school back in the day. The W's been there forever. The Scranton Knights, of course, been around since 1991 when Scranton Central and Scranton Tech merged, and Hannah will have more on the history of today's game a little bit later on, and we'll have some interviews with Miss Invader and Miss Knight. So big rivalry, a lot of great atmosphere in downtown. Nice to see the crowd here, and even better to see the students.
They both student sections are filled. They're ready to rock and roll today. And Bob, you just said it. It is almost back to normal, having a huge crowd on both sides, watching them still shuffling in here right at kickoff.
As Hannah mentioned, you had to pre-purchase your ticket to be here today, and everyone is socially distant. wearing their masks. So we're waiting both teams to take the field. Not sure what the holdup is yet, but we are ready to go. I know the teams have been ready since they've been warming up here around 12:30 or so. What are you looking forward to seeing in today's game with both teams looking for their first win?
It's going to be really exciting to watch both these offenses. We have first-year coach Harisnak with the Invaders trying to establish what he was talking about was the culture that he wants to try to change, that these guys, when the Invaders step on the field, that they should expect to win because they work as hard as anybody else. And with the Knights, they know they have some great athletes, and they're going to try to electrify the crowd with what they can do.
Nick Guardi will tee it up for our Lackawanna College kickoff. Nasir Green, Charlie Thompson back to receive. Along with Devin Chalette, who actually went to West Scranton last year and transferred over. So we are set, and it is the Battle of the Bell, and we're underway. Thompson fumbles it, and it will be a touchback for the Scranton Knights. The Knights will play two quarterbacks today, but Arvel Chandler, he'll get the start. He is a junior. There you see his numbers last week. Not very impressive, but a lot to improve on today.
Again, with the way that their offense is predicated, they're going to be doing a lot of RPOs, and they concentrated on the runs last week, and I'm sure the wind is going to play a factor this week because right now they're going into a headwind.
That they are. I know they want to establish the running game. We'll take a look at the Hazelton Honda offense momentarily. So right from the huddle, they go into their formation. Chandler will start in the shotgun with Thompson next to him. Thompson gets first carry. The Invaders are there to swarm to him for about a yard gain at best.
The flag came in too there, Bob.
Well, while we figure out the flag, let's take a look at the Hazelton Honda starting lineups. So Green and Chalette in the backfield, along with Thompson, either one. There you see the receivers, Will Walsh and Tenio Hairston on the outside, and Sam Jones had 23 catches last year. And up front, good seniors, some inexperience, two seniors on the right-hand side in Lance and Stewart.
And they're a good-sized offensive line. The lightest guy they have right now is at 211 pounds, and he's a junior, Matt Corson, playing left guard.
Scranton rushed for 156 yards last week in that loss to North Pocono. They want to improve on that. Didn't score a point, so they're still looking for their first of 2020. Green to the outside with some speed. Nasir Green up close to a figure law for first down for the senior. Past the 35.
Here you go. They just go with that outside zone, and he's got that speed, and that's one thing that coach was concerned about was their athleticism and their speed, especially when they get to the edge. He's afraid that they're going to be able to turn it upfield and gain more yards than they would like to have them gain.
11 on that. It is a first down. They move the chains. Thompson with a nice hole. Versetti meets him straight on and stood up, and Thompson fights for a yard.
So we come back with that pistol formation. They're just going, trying to go up the gut. They bring the number 24 there in motion, or excuse me, 14 in motion, to use him as a isolation back to try to blow up the first man he sees, to allow him to get up inside. And again, Nick Forsetti does a nice job plugging that hole. Scranton's
defense against Western Wayne last week gave up 323 yards on the ground. So they want to do a better job today as Green moves up for about 4, and it'll bring up a third down. Let's take a look at the Hazelton Honda defense for the Invaders. It's Velasquez in the middle with Core and Gonzalez on the outside. The linebackers very active and will play at 5, and we've seen that a couple times this year, Coach. Yep. And Gonzalez and Forsetti watch for them, and then 3 men in the backfield: Kabir, Russell, Wyatt, and Connor Price. So 3-5 defense under new coach Dennis Rishnak. Big third down. Chandler getting the edge. Chandler's off to the races down the sidelines. Harvell Chandler on the quarterback sneak inside Invader territory for a Figure Law Firm first down at the 29.
Scranton lines up in what we call an elephant or a heavy set. They went unbalanced left, so they had the extra blockers, extra offensive linemen in there. They just sealed it down to allow him to get to that outside first down. And again, a little juke move.
Russell with the tackle. And Alkabir Russell, the senior, went to Scranton 2 years ago. So you'll see a lot of that once in a while. Kids moving, families moving from one side of the city to the other. So good chance here for the Knights to take the early lead. Green flushed. A lot of blue jerseys. Great job at Camden Wyatt coming up from his free safety spot for no gain.
Camden Wyatt did a tremendous job reading that as his free safety. He saw all the way that it was Green carrying the ball, and he comes screaming down. Nick Forsett forcing him to the sideline, and watch that hit right there. Good job.
Good job by the interior of the Invaders. Chandler has not thrown a pass yet or even looked to. Let's see if they want to go to the air on second down. Quarterback sneak. And only a couple of yards on that. Great job by West Scranton. Make the stop.
Number 2, Jostin Sandoval does a nice job. He sees that hole and he comes up and he slams it shut. But again, he has great support from the rest of that Blue Invader defense to give him nothing at the line of scrimmage.
So Peter Hilborn, the senior, took him down. So 3rd and long now for Scranton. The last time it was 3rd down, and Chandler kept it for that big gain. Chandler 4 of 5 for 22 yards last week. Did have an interception. Played a little bit last year, but not as much as Nate Colby did, and we'll see Colby later on. They're going to stay on the ground with Green, but West is right there. Loss of 3, and that is Hilborn on the tackle.
Well, that 3-5 defense is allowing the Invaders now to have that extra man inside the box, as we call it, and they're doing a great job flowing and playing downhill, and right there dropping them for a loss.
How much do you think the wind is a factor? It is really blowing strong from our right to left as you look at the screen. Throwing into that might be a little tough.
It's going to be very tough, especially for a first-year quarterback coming in here and trying to establish a pass game. But we've seen this series has just been all about the run formation.
Chandler going to look over the middle, and it's bobbled and picked off. Intercepted by Connor Price by the Invaders, and he brings it up to the 32.
So they've run right now the Knights have been in a very balanced set. They have a slot on each side and a split end on each side. So again, you have a 2-on-2, and they're going to try to stretch the zones right there. The ball was thrown a little low, which I understand with the wind it would have carried a little bit more than they would want to. But here we go, right here. You see how he threw that ball down? You saw the point down. And again, he was trying to throw into triple coverage. We'd like to say it was as good as a punt, but a pick is not a very good thing to have.
So the Invaders carry it up, and that is Joseph Harris with the carry. He's a sophomore. Let's take a look at the quarterback. We talked about he's a freshman. Samson Repshis, 1 of 7 last week, just a couple of yards.
Well, he had
3 TDs.
That's a pretty good statistic right there. 3 TDs and no interceptions. And as a freshman to step in there his first game, that's pretty darn good.
He was actually 1 of 7. A little graphic malfunction there for 39 yards was Samson Repshis. Harris again, up for about 2. Now, they will have the wind at their back, and there's a very talented receiver core for the Invaders.
You have Nick Forsett out there. They lined up in a trips formation to the right, to the short side of the field. And again, they just go with a fullback right coming up the gut. Nice job with the push from the offensive line.
There's Dennis Rishnak, the first-year Invader coach. Did play for West Scranton in the early 2000s. And guess where he teaches? Scranton.
Scranton. I had a 50-50 shot on that one.
Yeah, I know, you did, didn't you? I threw that was a layup. Fumble on the snap. And Scranton has it. Second turnover of the game goes to the Knights. I think that was the exchange.
It was. And you'll see right in here, he has to ride that center. The quarterback's got to keep that up-hand pressure on the backside of the center as he's riding him out of there to make sure he's got that ball in there. You could see that his hands were separated and the ball slipped out.
So 6 minutes in or so, 2 turnovers already. Interception from West and that fumble recovered by Scranton. So Chandler back on the field with Thompson next to him. Thompson with a nice hole. Thompson cuts in and gets up to the 30, powers up for about 14.
Charlie Thompson, our spotlight player of the game for the Knights, does a nice job on that counter. He goes to the right, cuts back to the left, and again, the offensive line now is down blocking to get that influence block on the defense and sprung him for a nice first down.
The junior had 75 yards last week against North Pocono and 16 carries. Thompson another hole for Seti. Can't trip him up. He's close to the line to gain, near the 20, about 2 yards short of a first.
What's interesting, Scranton is using a lot of their motion with their slot receivers, and what they call that nowadays is called a sniffer back, because he's coming across motion and he's sniffing to see who he's going to attack. And they're doing a real nice job of getting that extra blocker in there so they don't have to be in an I formation.
Green going the wrong way again. That time the defense pushed through.
That was Matt Schilling and Nick Versetti, the Invaders player of the game, making that stop and dropping them right at the line of scrimmage. Again, they're going with that RPO, and it didn't account for 2 guys off the edge, and then you see 3 more Invaders coming up to make sure that that play was stopped.
Looks like Gonzalez, number 13, was there to meet him as well. So back to a 3rd and long. Not what Scranton wants, but at this point you would think into the strong wind, it's 2 downs to get the first.
At this point, I'm sure maybe Coach has that dialed in. 2 plays. Maybe he called 2 plays right now. See that hurry up offense. There he goes.
Stay on the ground with Thompson. Thompson battling. Going to be about 2 yards short, so 4th down coming up.
So right here, there's the motion. They bring that guy, number 7, across. They're just trying to get him to get that extra blocker out there, and he does. He goes right inside, allow Charlie Thompson to gain 8 yards on that last play. It brings up a 4th and 2.
Brett Miller on the tackle, number 5. So now Green is in the backfield. Looking for Chandler to keep this. No, he gives it to Green, and Green powers ahead. Good push by the line. They are inside the Allied Services red zone after a figure law first down.
Again, you will see this coming in motion now is that slot back. I shouldn't say motion. They came back and they just tried the trap with him. And again, Nasir does a nice job stepping up there and getting that first down to keep this drive alive.
Sandoval there to make the stop. So the drive continues to move forward after the fumble recovery. Chandler with some happy feet, and he's taken down for the sack.
For a moment, he had a receiver open, we had to out and we had a post pattern. The post man was in there. Again, he just has to learn to throw that ball away. Great job by the Invaders there to keep that and drop him for a loss.
Sean Donate on the stop, number 35. Thompson stood up by Gonzalez. So another loss, and a great job by West to stand their ground for another loss of 2.
Well, right now, the edge is on the defender side, the Invaders' defense side, I should say. And again, he does a nice job reading that window, Gonzalez does, and coming through and then stopping it.
We can see that's what they practiced this week after giving chunk of yardage last week to Western Wayne.
They did. And again, you can see week 1 to week 2 improvements now in both these squads right now are starting to become evident.
Chandler looking to throw and has a receiver just out of the reach of Antonio Hairston. And that will bring up 4th down.
Steve Shumber is the head coach, his 3rd season, 7-15 overall. And again, this season for all coaches has really been an enigma due to the COVID-19, not allowing to practice, then allowed to practice, but then being told games are canceled. And it's been really a juggling show for all these coaches to try to keep these kids' interest peaked and keep them interested in going on.
4th and long. Chandler going to roll and look. Going to go towards the end zone. No flags, and just overthrows the intended receiver, Sam Jones, and the ball goes over to the Invaders. They hold on downs after the fumble.
They do a nice job, and you can see Arvell rolls out to his left, and again, he had a man open in the flat, but he was looking downtown for the 6 points. Again, I think that wind, I know that wind is playing a big factor out there for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Invaders now try to go deep with it because they have the wind at their back.
Minute 39 left in the first. No score in the Battle of the Bell. Repshus to Harris.
Oh.
And he's hit hard by Thompson. So here now the Hazelton Honda offense for the Invaders. Hilborn and Harris in the backfield along with the freshmen. The wide receivers probably the most talented group on this Invaders team. Evanowski and Fersetti and Walsh. Try to get the ball to them. And up front, 3 seniors on the offensive line. Lipscomb on the outside. It's 265. He's the left tackle. So no gain on first. Repshus. Flag comes in, it's going to be a hold. Repshus downfield, goes incomplete, trying to get to Walsh, and this is definitely coming back the other way. Referee threw it. Our referee today is Mike Serra.
You'll see the snap was a little wonky on this one. He didn't have that. You see right there's the hold. It was pretty obvious when you go outside your frame.
So this will back up the Invaders. Under a minute to play in the first.
Offensive line coaches will tell their offensive linemen you got to keep your arms bent and you never want to be extended, and you always want to keep your feet moving and keep them close to your vest. And then that one, he was reaching and it was very obvious on the hold.
Second down from the 11 now. They have to get to the 25. Wyatt with the run. Camden Wyatt, number 14, for a nice gain. Gets it up past the 25.
And here you go. You see big number 75, Brian Lipscomb, coming around, pulling and then sealing it, allowing him to spring that for that nice gain of
16 yards.
16 yards.
They'll need to run a play, and that will do it. So first quarter's in the books here. We're scoreless in the 30th meeting for the Battle of the Bell. Welcome back to Scranton's Veterans Memorial Stadium in the Battle of the Bell. West Scranton has possession. It's third down. We're scoreless so far, and the freshman Repshis looking, and he's going to go downfield, and he's going to overthrow his intended receiver. That is Moet Wellington, the senior. And I know one thing the Scranton coaches were emphasizing to their players is that Repshis likes to throw the ball downfield.
And I'll tell you, for a freshman, it's a very well thrown ball. Great technique. He had lots of time from that offensive line up here. You'll see there he goes again, number 75, Brian Lipscomb. He's the senior, most experienced offensive lineman. Nice ball downfield, and he was behind him, number 23. Moet Wellington was there, and they're only going to get better as the season progresses.
So with the wind at his back, Dan Denhaste will punt away. Charlie Thompson deep for the Knights. It's a high hanging kick. Into the sun, Thompson grabs it on the fair catch. Scranton will have it with very good field position at the 47-yard line.
That was one of the concerns when we were talking to the returners in pregame. They were worried about the sun being in their eyes, and that was really heads-up play by Charlie Thompson to call for that fair catch.
So Scranton has had some time.
Oh, they have, and they've put together some nice drives. They just have to complete them now.
So Scranton has the ball. And nowhere for Thompson to go. Nice job by number 44, John Walsh. And that should do it. First quarter's in the books. And we're scoreless here in Scranton in the Battle of the Bell.
Welcome back to Scranton Memorial Stadium. We are here for the famous Bell game. Now, a little history on the Bell. It was a trophy created as a prize awarded to the most superior Scranton school. Say that 5 times fast. It was actually first awarded in 1953, back when the rivalry was between Scranton Tech, Scranton Central, and West Scranton. Now, even though Scranton Tech and Central have since closed, we now get to watch West Scranton and Scranton High Schools battle for the prize 67 years later. Who will be the superior Scranton team? Today we find that out. Bob and Jan?
Well, the first 5 years of this rivalry between West and Scranton, it was all West. Then it kind of evened out, but last year Scranton won, of course, 41-7. And they have a 16-14 advantage. Now, one of those games was in the playoffs, so that wasn't really for the Bell. So that's why it's the 30th meeting, even though they've met, this is the 31st between the two schools. You understand that? I'll give you a quiz later.
I can follow that new math.
Chandler with the wind behind him. Got a lot of air under that and tried to hit Antonio Hairston downfield. Nice throw. And you know what? Give it a lot of credit for at least extending the field.
They've got to. They're going to have to stretch it out because with that 3-4 defense, they're also bringing up a 5th guy to make it an 8-man in the box. So they're going to have to stretch that field. And again, he does. And with that win today, they're going to have to account for the receivers not getting there before the ball does.
Hairston had some steps on the secondary, but just couldn't connect with his receiver.
They're going to have to get this one off quick. There it is, the timeout.
No, they call it Keystone College timeout. With 11:55 seconds into this quarter, and
play took a little bit too long to get in.
So both teams have used a timeout. West called a timeout at the end of the first. Wasn't sure on that.
Yeah, that was I didn't
very
see
odd,
it,
yeah.
and I didn't hear the whistle go either. But again, that was a heads-up play. Coach calling that doesn't want to get assessed a 5-yard penalty, so they were down to 1 second when he called that timeout.
Here are your Luzerne County Community College keys for the Knights.
Well, we always talk about controlling emotions, especially in this type of a rivalry game. Coach Shumbris was saying, look, the kids know each other. They hate each other right now, but afterwards they're still, again, they're Scranton School District, they're one school, and they're very proud. And he wants to get his offense off to a positive start, which they've done, but I'm sure the caveat to that is he wants him to punch that in for that touchdown.
Both teams have a turnover in the first quarter. It didn't lead to much. Scranton really had the better stats in the first. Overall, they ran pretty good, but the West defense held their own and played tough and put Scranton into 3rd and longs. So Chandler, the junior quarterback, out. Thompson gonna block for him. Has a receiver downfield open, and he gets him to the ball. Good comeback catch for Scranton.
He really adjusted.
Kavagza, number 8.
He does a nice job adjusting to coming back to the ball as opposed to waiting for it, which is a mark of a good receiver. Nice job rolling to the right. There's a nice block there by Charlie Thompson to give the quarterback a little bit more time. Again, coming back, he had to get control. And again, he lost some yardage, but more importantly, he got that key first down for the Knights.
Thompson nowhere to go. 35 in there again. That's Donate. Sean Donate, 5'9", 200-pound senior.
They go with that inside trap. The right tackle was pulling up inside. And again, the Invaders do a nice job stalling them at the line of scrimmage.
So the loss on the play puts the ball back near the 45, brings up 2nd and about 14. Oh, right now is what you want to see in a game. No matter while the teams are playing, it's 0-0. It's back and forth, and boy, the wind is really picking up. Chandler looking, throws it into the ground. Receivers were well covered, and 3rd and long, now facing the Knights.
There was just a blue curtain of secondary back there and nowhere to throw the ball. So Chandler does a nice job throwing that ball into the ground, not taking a loss. It's an incomplete. You'll see right here, they go with that motion back, number 1 coming across. He throttles down. I think it was a hook or it was a curl. I'm not sure who was on which page that time.
Again, no offseason has really hurt both teams. And there you see how the wind is really blowing with that flag right to left. And it's picked up throughout the day. So Chandler's going to keep it, looking for the edge. Cuts it back, and really 2 yards at best. Good job by Walsh again inside, along with Sandoval for West.
When you're running this type of balanced offense, when you're doing RPOs and the quarterback's keeping, it's essential that those outside receivers do a better job with their stalk blocks. Right just then, you saw how the linebackers just shed number 1, and then were able to make that tackle for that loss.
So on 4th down, should be Jeremiah Ortiz in there to kick. He was booming some in pregame. And he booms that one to the corner, and it is in for the touchback. That's Noah Lance. I have 53 kicking, so Noah Lance, apologize.
October is Jobtoberfest at Allied Services. Every Thursday in October, Allied Services hosts job counseling, hiring fairs, giveaways, and so much more. Learn about all the excellent career opportunities, including sign-on bonuses and benefits every Thursday. Get all the details at Careers at Allied Services on Facebook.
So the Invaders turn to see if they can find any offense now going into the wind. Try a little reverse to Wellington, and Wellington's up for just a couple.
The Knights 4-4 defense looking pretty good there with their secondary and their linebacker crew. You see how the defensive line shut everything down, and that allowed the linebackers to flow to make that tackle just for a short gain.
Stewart comes off his block, the senior, for the tackle, number 55. You would think with a freshman quarterback, it's not going to be a big playbook. I mean, you got to keep it relatively simple.
Again, they've been in now working on this for about 3 or 4 weeks now, and they're going to have to expand it. Again, they know they're going to run it, and they're going to have to put that ball in the air a little bit more for Samson Repshire and the Invaders to be more successful.
Harris up. Third down on the way.
You see right there, again, number 75 pulling for them. Again, Brian Lipscomb doing a nice job trying to get that outside power going. And again, the Knights are saying, no way, we're not falling for that.
Points are going to be tough today for both teams. I know that's an understatement, but that's what we're looking at. And they have a figure law first down. Harris powers up past the 30-yard line.
Devin Collette, the linebacker for the Knights, does a nice job seeing this and stopping it. But again, now they have to finish, and I'm not sure that's probably one of their defensive schemes that they talk about and goals every week. Wrap up and let's gang tackle.
Okay, Charlotte last year, of course, playing with West and the Invaders last year. Ball's on the turf from Wyatt, and the Knights have it. Kanvanza with the recovery and a break for Scranton. They have the ball inside Invader territory.
Nice job in here by the Knights coming up here, just scraping. And then again, ball security, he's got to tuck that ball away. You got to cover the points of the ball and squeeze, and he didn't do that time when he was getting hit. That was a nice job by the Knights there, and now they're in really good field position.
Second fumble and turnover of the game for West. It's costly. Let's see if Scranton can get their first score of the year. Chandler coming back in as the quarterback, the 6-foot junior.
Again, they're down the single digits. They're going to have to get this play off.
And they do. Chandler going to keep it, but picks up a block. There's a couple moves and picks up about 3 on the play.
Devin Chalette does a nice job on here, influence blocking. They go with that RPO, and again, just enough to chip them to allow the quarterback to see that and tuck back inside to gain 3 yards on that play.
Both lines playing well, but really equal. Really not much room there. I mean,
there really is, and I understand what you're saying, Bob, that these guys with this offensive line, okay, they go with the little end around.
Yep, that was Chalette. And Chalette still powering his way inside the 20, has a figure law first down inside the Allied Services red zone. The Knights knocking on the door. That was all Devin Chalette.
It really was, and you'll watch his leg drive on this right here. They thought they had him. He keeps those knees pumping and driving, and then that's what gets you that extra stuff to get that first down. That was a great run.
Yeah, John Walsh getting carried by his former teammate. Now Nasir Green will be a sidecar to Chandler. Green gets it, and the hole got plugged, and great job on the inside by Gonzalez to make the play, and he's a little bit injured. He's going to come off as number 13.
So they bring that back around again. If he would have, personally, I would have told him to go back inside, follow number 67, but he was trying to bounce outside and jumped, and then he got stuffed.
Loss of 1 on the play, and I think Gonzalez took a knee in the helmet, came off holding his chin, so we'll check that out on the sidelines. Chandler rolling, surveying, gonna tuck it and go, and nowhere to go.
Peter Hilburn on that stop, doing a nice job at the linebacker position, making sure that is it runner pass, and he shut the door and said, you're not going anywhere.
Both defenses are really flying to the ball. 3rd and long now for the Knights. And a good job by West. Off their 2 fumbles, they've held their own, held the ground for the defense, right? I mean,
no points on takeaways, so that says a lot about the character of these young men playing today for the Invaders.
3rd down now. to the tight end. I think he's going to be a yard short on the knee, but nice catch. Out was, that was number 14, Michael Slavinsky, the senior. But 4th and 1 now facing Scranton.
That was a great catch. What an effort. He just does a flare. He's going downfield. Ball's down low. He reaches out, extends, and pulls that in for the reception and gets him in real good position there for the first down on this quarterback sneak.
1st and goal, Scranton. Chandler on the keeper for a figure law first down inside the Allied Services red zone. The Knights trying to get their first points of 2020.
And you'll see right here, the quarterback sneak. We saw this a lot last night, too, on the same field where the quarterback's having a lot of success with that.
Gonzalez, number 13, back in for West. 2 wideouts to the near side. Inside to Gillette. Gillette powering and to the 1. Scranton's going to come up quickly. West trying to make a change. Too many men on the field. They have to watch. They have to call a timeout. The Invaders just in time as the referee was about to throw the flag. So it's a Keystone College timeout. Nice job by the Knights to get up quickly and snap that ball.
Put that pressure, not allowing them to go into their true goal line defense, trying to get that extra lineman or 2 linemen in there to get that beef up front. And again, what was nice was on Gillette's carry, that last one, they keep coming back to that cross buck or a counter play where he's lined up as a tight slot on the left side coming back to the right side.
Let's take a look at the series standings overall. So this started with Scranton Central, Scranton Tech back in before I was born and you were born.
And I'm older than you are.
My dad went to Scranton Tech, so even before that. West Scranton, as we heard, came about in the 60s, so then it became 3 teams playing for the Bell, and I was a part of Scranton Central playing Tech on Thanksgiving for many years here. Many years.
10 o'clock start?
That was a 10 o'clock start.
Yeah.
That was a great time in high school. And then it goes to 1991. Scranton Technical and Scranton Central merged into what is now Scranton High School. So there's a little bit of history. They built a high school which is behind the stadium here.
Beautiful high school, by the way.
And that's where we are right now. Now the Knights want to keep the Bell. They got to score. Chandler looking for a hole. Chandler ducks his head, and it is a Hazelton Honda touchdown for the Scranton Knights, the first one of the season. So Scranton takes advantage of the fumble. They cash in.
They go with the motion with Gillette out there to get that extra blocker across, quarterback keep, and he does a nice job barreling his way in there. And Bob, we keep talking about their first touchdown of the season. It is October 10th today, but they just started last week, so it's really game 2. And again, that means a lot to them.
The quick snap and the 2-point conversion is good. Slavinsky. Everyone to the left, snap the ball and see what you can do, and this one counts. So the Knights, with 4:02 remaining in the half, take the lead 8-0 in the Battle of the Bell.
They go with what we used to call a rugby play.
And they cash in. Scranton marches 8 plays, 33 yards off the fumble, and they cash in. They hit the 2-point conversion. Here's some plays. First, it's the fumble.
Again, ball security, and again, the Knights get it, and we come back with that little counter play.
Gillette picks up a first down on that.
And now they're going to the air, and that's a great, I love that reception. Nice job. Again, that counter play to Gillette again. And then we come back with the quarterback keep for the touchdown.
So Wyatt took the kickoff. He's shaken up, coming off. Looks like an ankle or something on the leg. He's up past the 20, and West has the ball at the 23. And you would have to think anytime Coach Rishnak sees someone injured, it's a big loss.
It really is, because now it just doesn't affect the offensive position. Now, Michael might be playing secondary for the Invaders, and then again, he's probably on all the special teams. So now the special team coach is now hurrying to try to make sure that the next player up is ready to go.
Repshis keeps it, has room. The freshman knocked out of bounds, close to a figure law first down, and he has it. Move the chains.
It's going to be a nice drive. If they can put this together, we're going to see a great game here, going back and forth, how they respond. Looks downfield, there's nothing there, and he does a smart decision, tucks it away, good ball security, heading to the sideline. Don't take unnecessary hits as a freshman quarterback.
Let's see if this opens up a little bit. Got some nerves off. Somebody scores. Back to football they go. Harris with the carry up to the 40.
We just go with that inside zone play right there. And what they're trying to do is they're just going to take the defensive lineman wherever he wants to go. Whatever his first step is, the offensive line's not going to try to move him. He's going to influence him and move him the way that he's already going.
Pickup of 6. Back to the ground, try and get the outside, but good play by the Knights by Kambangza, number 8. Here's what West Scranton wants to do in their keys to the game, Coach.
And Coach Risnack said he wants to establish that running game, and you can see that they've done that the first and most of the second quarter. And again, play defense with all 11. We have noticed one thing about the Invaders. They are gang tackling. There's not just one guy there. They're getting 3, 4, 5 guys in the picture frame is what we talk about as defensive coordinators. Get everybody to the ball. Get 9 hats to the ball, 10 or 11. And they're doing that.
Big third down for the Invaders. They want to keep the ball. 2:25 left in the half. But the Knights say, you're not going to. The ball comes out. He's down. Harris lost a couple yards, and West will have to punt. Loss of 3.
And you'll see they show the blitz, and they can't pick it up. Lipscomb was going to pull to the left, and that opened the door for the linebackers just to come in untouched and put all that pressure in there.
Seniors Michael Slavinsky with the big tackle. Keystone College timeout called by Scranton, I believe. And they want to get the ball back and try to extend this lead going into the second half. Coming up in the Toyota halftime report, we'll check in with our friends from Allied Services on what's going on.
For more than a century, Lackawanna College has been changing lives. Now you can earn your bachelor's degree from a respected school close to home with the most affordable tuition in the region. Apply today at lackawanna.edu. New classes start October 22nd.
So West and their freshman quarterback not able to do too much in this first half. They'll have to make some adjustments going into halftime. They're going to punt it away. And it should be Denhase. High snap, and it's a fake. And the Knights read it, and they're going to have excellent field position. Slavinsky on the tackle for Scranton, along with Sam Jones.
Again, the snap was high. I don't know. I'm sure this was a planned play because why not? It's the bell game. They're going to pull out all stops to try to get any momentum going and try to surprise the Knights. And they were not surprised by that play at all.
Yeah, Matt Schilling, a sophomore, number 13 there as well. So the Knights have the ball. 1 timeout left, 2:02 remaining in the half. Ball is at the Invader 34. Gillette on the inside trap. With room, Gillette towards the end zone. It's a Hazelton Honda touchdown for the Scranton Knights. And that's got to be big for Devin Gillette, who went to West Scranton last year.
He's saying hello to his old former teammates in the best way possible by scoring. What was nice on that, they trap it. Gillette, again, is running that counter from where his slot position is and does a great job.
So it's a 34-yard run. This is Ortiz on for the extra point. They will kick it this time. It is up and it is through. So Scranton takes advantage of two short fields, and they take it in and take a 15-0 lead. So there is Caden Merrifield, the senior quarterback who was injured in preseason. He is out for the year, and hence we have the Samson Repshis, a freshman who probably thought just going to play for the freshman team this year. But he's a big kid, is Samson. Let's talk about Merrifield, though. I mean, that's a big loss from last year. He was their leading rusher. He was their leading passer, and just one of the inspirations on the team, and was really looking forward to his senior year. And
unfortunately, he had the car accident, and thank God that he's fine. Again, his arm is on the mend. But again, coming in your senior year, especially with the way COVID hit last year, so there was no baseball, no track, no lacrosse, there was none of that. And then to be unsure and to find out that we were going to be able to have football, and then, he had that. But that young man has been to every practice, and he's actually been a private coach for Samson.
Yep. Take away 17 touchdowns, and that's a big loss for West. So Ortiz will tee it up for a Lackawanna College kickoff, 1:54 remaining in the half. And just like that, Scranton has a 15-point advantage. Deep kick taken by Wellington. He has room. Can he get to the outside? It is. He gets the corner and is ridden out of bounds by Ortiz. The big kicker gets him out, but West has good field position at the 45.
Ortiz, I'll tell you, for a kicker and for his stature, he moves really well. That was a nice tackle. Actually, he saved the touchdown. There was one man to beat, and he goes all the way across field, Wellington. And again, there's the hole. He turns it up, makes one guy miss, and then look at that. Ortiz, nice job. Grabs that jersey and pulls him out.
Nice job on an angle for Ortiz. Now, can West take advantage? And the wind has kind of died down a little bit. Not as powerful as it has been, as the clouds are starting to move in. Sampson Repshis to the air, trying to get out to Wellington, and just overthrows him. He had Forsetti, too, deep.
Nick Forsetti, we haven't called his name on the offensive side too much here, but he was running that corner route, and he was wide open. Again, Samson Repshis, that was a pretty good lead. Again, I'm sure Wellington was probably pretty tired from that kick return.
West only scored 7 last week against Western Wayne. Not much offense here in the first half against their rivals. Well, trying to look for tight end, he overthrew him now, Walsh.
He threw off his back foot, and that's why the ball sailed up the way it did. Really, that wind, like you said, Bob, has died down considerably from what it was.
So Coach Rishnak, who was assistant at Mid-Valley last year and Riverside before that, again played for West. He played in this game in the early 2000s. Teacher here at Scranton High School. So third down on the way, 1:38 remaining. West could get the ball back, and they still have a time. Scranton can get the ball back.
And again, you sit back and go, yeah, you don't have to take your timeouts with you in the first half. You can't take them in the locker room, but
well, they're not. West's gonna use their last one. It's a Keystone College timeout as the Invader Band plays with the cheerleaders here, and the cheerleaders doing a nice dance. Good to see a nice crowd on hand here at Scranton Memorial Stadium. Capacity 12,000 people. Probably the biggest stadium in our area.
Yes.
And a lot of people spread out, and Good crowd.
Especially when we have to climb up here to the top of the press box. There's a lot of steps here, a lot of bleachers.
But we like the view.
That's
really
a great
do.
view.
It's a great view of downtown Scranton. And some high school football this weekend. Of course, we were here last night as Scranton Prep beat Western Wayne. Some games of interest, maybe Lake Lehman plays today against Holy Redeemer. Crestwood won last night over Wyoming area.
Very close game, 14-13.
Yeah, off an extra point. So Lake Lehman and Wyoming area will meet next week. We'll have that game right here on MyTV Friday night at 7. As we pan the Scranton Knights, who are the visiting team today. That's the opposite side here. Southern Columbia again with a win, continues their streak in District 4. Montoursville with a nice win. And Danville bouncing back, beating Central Columbia. That's all District 4. Repchis going to overthrow Wellington. Clock stops 1:31. It's going to be 1:29 left. And they'll be forced to punt into the wind. So 3 straight incompletions for the Invaders.
Well, and again, he's throwing into the wind. And again, watch his throwing motion on this one, and more importantly, his release. He's pulling his right arm down. That's why that ball's sailing like that. Again, he gets that thumb down, the motion. He's going to be throwing that ball more on a string then. And again, he's only a freshman. He's only going to get better.
Denhay's high hanging kick. The wind stalls it really in midair and takes a bounce. And Scranton will have it at their own 26. Let's see what Coach Schumbris wants to do. He's up 15. We had a scoreless 18 minutes of football, and then suddenly Scranton had 2 short fields.
On 2 turnovers, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it only took them 8 seconds last time to get that last 34-yard touchdown.
Well, here you don't want a turnover, though, so I'd be so shocked if they go to the air. Maybe they can break a big run. And they fumble. Oh, chance for the Invaders to get it. Green hit behind the backfield by Gonzalez, who's back after coming off injured. Another loss of 5.
Again, it's just a miscue with the quarterback. The snap was high. The halfback's coming across, and he's trying to get a high snap. That high snap into his belly and then hit his shoulder pad and bounced out.
Camden Wyatt, the first one there. Go Knights. There's the Scranton student section. Clock will continue to roll. Invaders out of timeouts. Now this is a spot where, if you're West, you used all your timeouts as Thompson takes it. If they had timeouts left and didn't have to use them, this is the chance where you would use them, right? And you could get the ball back in good field position.
And you'll see right here, again, they go with that outside zone play. They're trying to go with the stretch. And again, the Invaders, 26-35. You see all the numbers. Number 7, Forsetti in the screen there, like Coach wanted. He wants to have gang tackling. He wants to have a lot of blue jerseys at the point of attack.
And that will do it. Clock ticking down, and the first half is in the book for the 30th meeting in the Battle of the Bell in Scranton. The Knights lead the Invaders at the half, 15-0.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
It's halftime here at Friday Night Rivals, and we have stopped by Allied Services to talk to CEO and President Bill Conaboy. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Hannah.
Now, Allied Services, you guys are a big name in the community. You're one of the top employers in this area. Can you explain to some of our viewers who might not know, what is Allied Services?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much. Allied Services is a regional post-acute healthcare system. We do business in about 25 counties here in Northeast and Central Pennsylvania. We have 2 inpatient rehab hospitals. We have several skilled nursing facilities, personal care homes. We do home health, we do in-home, we do hospice, we do mental health, behavioral health. We have a vocational training center. etc. We do everything that's in the post-acute care arena of healthcare.
Now, some of your employees have worked here 30, 40, almost 50 years. What would you say makes Allied Services a great place to work?
Yes, we have, as you said earlier, we are one of the largest employers here in the region. We have just about 4,000 employees. And I'm here myself almost 30 years, and I'm still considered a new guy. So I'd like to think that it's the atmosphere, the collegiality that we have here at Allied Services. People genuinely care about each other. They've watched each other's children grow up. They've experienced good times and bad times, but they stick together, they care for each other, and most importantly, they respect each other and those we care for.
Now, elephant in the room, coronavirus. It's thrown a wrench into everybody's day-to-day life, a lot of jobs. What is Allied Services doing to kind of get over those hurdles of the pandemic?
Yes, we've been in the thick of it, again, particularly in post-acute care. People come to us from acute care hospitals. And of course, this has been part of the problem with the spread of COVID-19. So we've been in the thick of it. We've had many, many cases. And we've been at the front line with PPE, personal protective equipment for our employees, screening, etc., separating people. And we've done a lot. We're very proud of the work that we've done. We've brought many people from the beginning through successfully coming out of COVID-19. So we're in the thick of it. The storm is kind of quiet right now. We're hoping there's not a resurgence in our area, but we're very proud of the work we've done.
So whether it is injury or an illness, Allied Services is always helping people get back on their feet, and we want to thank you guys for what you've done in the community.
Thank you. We're honored to do the work we do in our community.
Thank you, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I'm now joined by Mike Helene. He is the Program Director for Developmental Services here at Allied Services. Mike, can you tell me a little bit about your job?
Well, as you said, I'm the Program Director for Residential Services here at Allied Services for people with intellectual disabilities. Our program has been in operation since 1980. We provide services for 109 individuals within the community. 2 campus programs that have 84 residents in them, and we have 2 programs in the Lackawanna County community of the Greenridge area and 2 programs in Carbondale.
Wow, and you've worked here for 42 years, so what would you say has been the best part?
The best part is I think that I've been with Allied Services my entire adult life. I started as a direct care worker in 1978, and I've just stayed for the duration through clinical positions and management positions. You know, it's just something that I just feel compelled to do every day. I just come to work every day.
So I'm sure you've seen coronavirus affect a lot of jobs here, but how have you seen it affect the developmental services?
For our residents, I think the greatest thing has been the inability to see their families. It is unbelievable the emotions that are displayed between moms and dads and our residents who have not seen them since March.
Well, Mike, I'm sure a lot of these families are very appreciative of the work that you do every single day. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your time.
I'm Bill Conaboy, President of Allied Services. During these particularly challenging times, we're pleased to continue our support of high school athletes and high school athletic programs throughout the communities we serve. We also honor our employees and all frontline workers who have held the line and stayed the course throughout this pandemic. Thank you.
The principal of Scranton High School, John Coyle, on the right, and the principal of West Scranton. Accepting our check, Rob DeLuca from West Scranton. On behalf of Allied Services, we thank the Scranton School District for letting us televise this afternoon's Battle of the Bell. Jan Cichak and I back atop Scranton Veterans Memorial Stadium, looking on a competitive game, but towards the end of the first half, Scranton finally took advantage of some short fields, and that's where we stand at 15-0.
And they took advantage not of the short field, but on those 2 turnovers to get 2 great touchdowns that we saw Gillette on the counter, and then we saw Chandler with the quarterback keep, And then what I really liked was with their 2-point extra, the 2-point extra conversion they did.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty exciting that way. Now again, it's up to West now to come back and answer the bell.
Yeah, the Invaders, to get back in this, have to find some sort of offense. Unofficially, I have them for 49 total yards in that first half.
That makes it tough for an offense to do anything unless you have a short field. And again, the West Invaders have a freshman quarterback, Samson Repsher. His throwing technique right now is a little spotty, and he's only going to get better. And again, they got to put the ball in the best hands of Nick Forsett, who we haven't even talked about.
Yeah, they have to get it out to their best players, which are their receivers. So let's take a look at some highlights from the first half, why don't we? And we'll go to the screen. It's the defenses who dominated early on. Green taken down, and then the first
interception, yes.
Yep, the only interception, first turnover of the game. Scranton then just trying to get some offense going.
And he does a nice job coming back for that ball. Again, that ball was with the wind. And then we go with that counter pay. And we saw Gillette do this earlier. This is the first time. He didn't break this one, but his leg drive on this was really a great job. And on here, there it is. There's that touchdown. Same play. I'm sorry. Excuse me. That wasn't the touchdown. Right here, again, that is our quarterback pouncing in there for that. Look at that effort. Yep, Chandler doing a great job jumping that in for that second touchdown. Here's that 2-point conversion we talked about. We used to call that a rugby play because it's like a scrum. Then we see a high snap, but I think this was a planned play, trying to pull out all the stops, get some trickery going in there. This is Gillette's first touchdown. Great run, 34 yards on that same counter play that they have done all game long.
And that's where we stand right now, 15-0 the score. We'll give you some stats, and we'll get Jan's keys for the second half for both teams when we return.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
The Knights back out, wanting to hold on to the Electric City Bell after winning last year 41-7. The Knights control most of the first half on the ground. They've had some good plays. Thompson with 17 yards on 7 carries. Gillette with 52 yards overall. And Nasir Green, I have him unofficially for about 40 yards. A couple of those miscue, minus yardage. Here come the Invaders from the opposite side, making their way. They're, so 107 total yards for the Knights in that first half.
Not too bad for, an offense that's still trying to find an identity and establish their quarterback. Their run game is doing really well. I like how they're using the counter game with Gillette in there. Again, they're trying to spread the ball out. Again, the wind is playing a factor in the passing game for both teams.
So after the games last night, we have some Lackawanna Football Conference standings to look at as we have 2 minutes left before the teams will get the second half underway. In Division 1, the Knights trying to pick up their first win of the year. Wallen-Paulpack is 0-1, but I think they're 0-2. They lost to Dunmore and they lost to Delaware Valley last night. North Pocono 2-0 on the year. 1-1. They lost to Riverside on Friday night.
To give Coach Harry Armstrong his first win of the year. And Coach Armstrong and the Riverside guys, they've been playing a lot of games. So they're 1-4, I believe, at this time.
Yeah, those are the division standings and not the overall, just so we're aware. So they are 1-0 in the division after beating Scranton in the first week. There's West in Division 2 of the Lackawanna Football Conference, Scranton Division 1. West is a 4A school, Scranton a 6A school. And the news today out of Lackawanna Football Conference is that Lakeland, which had its game canceled with Susquehanna, now picked up Wilkes-Barre area. That game will be Tuesday at 7 o'clock and in Wilkes-Barre.
We're not picking up a game, are we, on Tuesday night, Bob?
Yeah, Steve said yes. You didn't get that?
I didn't get the memo.
I was going to tell you after the game.
Surprise.
No, we are not, unfortunately. No, we will not. We will be at Wyoming area next week as they take on Lake Lehman. So the Invaders will get the ball to begin the second half, down now 15-0. Ortiz is going to tee it up. They're looking for us to go. Short delay on the field. Waiting for the clock to roll down. They're really on. I didn't know what they were waiting for. Maybe a delivery. So the Lackawanna College kickoff, second half underway in the Battle of the Bell. Kick to one of the up men. And that is Connor Price for West Scranton. And the Invaders will actually start out with some very good field position in the second half near the 40-yard line. So Repchus comes back out, has not completed a pass in that first half.
Well, right now, the Invaders just have to maintain a possession on this, get a good drive and just maintain it and then grind it out for that touchdown. We're seeing some good things in their run game. The pass game has really been tough because, as I said earlier, with the wind, but they have the wind at their back right now, so let's see if they open it up downtown.
Straight handoff up to number 24, Joseph Harris, the sophomore.
So we're seeing from the Invaders here a lot of youth being out there playing. Again, Lipscomb pulling to the front side, does a nice job getting rid of the defender, but the running back followed where Lipscomb pulled from.
Harris, 7 carries now, 21 yards on the day. Repchus out, first completion of the afternoon to Wellington. Will bring up 3rd and short, up to the 45.
And again, those are the type of passes that you want to give a freshman, a young quarterback. Just short ones, easy completions. You build that confidence, and then again, you build that going downfield, getting more and more yardage. We know he has a great arm.
Not many first downs picked up from the Invaders in the first half as well, so keeping the chains moving will be a key to the second half for West. Play action on first. Here comes the rush. Repchus holding on to the ball. Loses the ball. Who gets it? Scranton has it, but did they say he was down?
I didn't see a mark for that, and if it is, that is Matt Reyes that came up with the fumble recovery.
No, they're going to say he was down.
down.
We'll take a look at it again, Coach.
Let's see. Balls.
Oh,
that was definitely a fumble.
That's a fumble.
Again, but we don't have instant replay in high school. And then, again, that was a great job by Reyes. Heads up, recovering the not fumble.
So Repchus loses yardage back to the 33. Then Hayes back on to kick. Thompson from his 30. Charlie Thompson with room. But there's a host of blue jerseys, and they ride him down at the 40. Good coverage on special teams from West Scranton.
They've done a good job of that, especially on the punt game. We've seen the Invaders do some good things, and here's the punt return. Charlie Thompson looking it in. The sun's not as bad as it was first half. Does a nice job. He gets one cut, and then there all of a sudden there's a wall of blue, and they all invade his space to take him down.
We've been invaded by some clouds, overcast clouds. So Chandler remains the quarterback. We haven't seen Nate Colby, number 16, who played the second half last week against the Trojans. Thompson taken down quickly by Forsetti. Loss of 1.
Speaking with Nick Forsetti at the beginning of the game, he's a solid young man. He loves the weight room. He's getting looks from some of the PSAC schools right now. He wants to go into education. He's not sure what major he would like to do, but specialize in, I should say. We know he wants to be an education major. And he really has a nice nose for the ball, getting there and getting some good hits in.
Lockhaven has been a big factor up here in the PSAC, recruiting some Scranton kids, as well as Frank Sheptock now at Bloomsburg probably looking. Up here is Green. Some positive yardage, about 10 on that. 3rd and 1.
Scranton's coach is saying, get on the ball, get on the ball. He wants to go no huddle to not allow the Invaders to get set or to get any personnel changes.
I don't know if they got him. Let's see where the mark is. Is Chandler on the quarterback keeper? They may measure. They're going to measure this, I think. No, they're going to say 4th down?
Yep.
4th down.
They changed it already, yep.
Here, look at the couch.
Here we go. Again, when you go no huddle like that, sometimes it's a detriment to yourself because your offensive linemen aren't quite set in their most comfortable position to fire off the ball and get that short yardage gain.
Let's see here, Green walks off gingerly. Thompson back on to replace him on 4th and 1. Thompson, head of steam, puts his head down and picks up a figure law 1st down up to the 47.
Coach Shumbris was talking about Thompson, just how tough and gritty that young man is. And as for the junior to be their running back, the guy that they're giving the ball to, they keep feeding him, he's really doing a great job. And again, I talked to him at the beginning of the game, and he was saying that he couldn't do anything with that offensive line. And we always hear that from running backs. And the thing is, it's not an overused statement when a running back says that because they know they couldn't do anything without those 5 guys inside.
Well, new set of downs for Scranton. Chandler short arms his pass. He had a receiver open, and it falls incomplete. So, Hannah, you had a chance to talk to Coach Harishnak. What did he have to say?
Now, it's no secret there's a big game on the line today, and both coaches are determined to bring home that bell. Like you mentioned, Bob, I talked to West Scranton's head coach, Dennis Harishnak, who says his guys need to maintain their blocks and stop with the turnovers. He points out that they had 3 in the first half, and if they can fix those, keep moving the ball, and have an opening drive, they can get back into this game. I asked him what's working for Scranton's team, giving them this upper hand, and he says they're feeding off those turnovers he mentioned. They gave Scranton 2 field positions, and they were able to cash that in. Now, Coach Harishnak says if his guys can control the other team's running, they'll be set. Bob and Jan, we'll see if that happens.
Well, the one
Pretty
thing,
good.
Yeah, the coach knows what he's doing for a first-year guy, but again, he has lots of experience. The one thing I'm sure they talked about was maybe to do a cross-examination or cross-keying, because again, now if they get the ball to Shillette and he's in that slot position, he's been hurting them with that counter play. So you would tell the opposite linebacker to year key in number 1 to make sure he's not doing the counter.
So 3rd down. Invaders want to stop. They give it to Shillette. Tries to get the edge, gets a block, and picks up a figure law 1st down. No flags down, but we do have an injured player. We do have a flag down. I said that too soon. We also have an injured player down for the Knights.
That was number 53, Noah Lance, but he's popped back up. He's coming out, though.
Initial call is a hold. Let's see if Mike Sierra will give us the official call now.
Holding offense, number 67. 10 yards from the spot, remains 3rd down.
So a break for the Invaders, Jan. That will back up Scranton 3rd and long.
And again, we just talked about Shillette on there on that counter play. And again, the other key they could tell is tell their inside linebacker, when you see the guard pulling, follow him, and he'll take you right to the play. And that's what the Invaders have not been doing to stop that play.
Breeze has picked up. It is in Scranton's face. So they try a little handoff to Green. He shades one tackler, but not the others. The punt team now coming on for the Knights.
They tried going with a little delay on this one, and again, there was nowhere. Again, the Invaders are doing a great job in terms of penetrating and stopping at the line of scrimmage. And again, he got a 3-yard loss on that one. Again, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Invaders around the running back.
Wyatt deep to receive this punt from Ortiz. Into the wind it goes, and boy, it really caused it to hold steady. West will have good field position starting this drive at the 37-yard line.
Friday Night Rivals is sponsored by Hazleton Honda. We are the newest Honda dealer in Pennsylvania, selling and servicing new and used Hondas. Visit us or shop our inventory online today. Your dream Honda is waiting at Hazleton Honda.
It's been a tough go today for the Invaders offense. Not much working for them. Only have a couple first downs. Repchus is going to go to the air on first down. Has his tight end, and Walsh can't pull it in. It was a good pass by Repchus.
He had great time. The offensive line did a nice job. There was no penetration from defensive linemen. And again, Repchus does a nice job. Look, he sets up. Look at his feet. Good ball. That's got to be caught. And again, that's frustrating on both the tight end and the quarterback.
Funny story for Repchus. Played flag football over at West Scranton. Threw 2 touchdown passes to my son. He was on the same team in 6th grade. And he had a good arm then. So he's really grown up. He's 6 foot, and he hands the ball off to Harris. Harris with some room, and it'll bring up 3rd down on the way for West up at the 44.
Bob, you mentioned we'll look at this play right there. The offensive linemen get tripped up because of the penetration from the defensive line. And again, great run in there. That was a nice run for them. Get that
Harris,
positive yards. Yep, Harris getting up there, getting 7 yards on that.
Big 3rd down now for West. Little mix-up on the handoff. Harris took it. Scranton right there. Nice job up front.
Number 60, number 71 for the Knights. They're really getting that done up there. There's nowhere for them to run, and look at that. Nice job taking on the block and then making the tackle. That's like a defensive lineman's dream right there.
Matt Reyes, number 60. A 6'1", 266-pound senior. So on 4th down, looks like Scranton will go for it, trailing and looking for any spark. They go to the air. Repchus rolls, little out pattern for Wellington, and it is intercepted. Picked off on the opposite side. I didn't see a number there. Looks like number 9, Sam Jones,
I think
picked
it
it
was
off.
Sam Jones.
But again, Wellington had that.
He's rolling out to his right doing a bootleg pass. He's looking. Again, you see how that ball, the angle of the ball, it was behind him. And the one thing is, even if he had made that reception, he was 1 yard shy of getting that first down.
So 3rd turnover of the afternoon, 2 fumbles and an interception for the Invaders. So Scranton takes over on the West 45, and they fumble it. They got it right back. Gillette coughed it up.
That's one way to blow up that counter play that they keep running with Gillette. Is it's just a great job. Bad handoff, but look, right there, you could see all the blue defenders behind the line of scrimmage waiting for that play.
Chandler just going to throw it up. The ball's tipped and knocked away. Good defense by Connor Price. Trying to hit the intended receiver down there. I believe that was Hairston.
That was a nice job in here. Lots of time. The ball's a little bit, again, now the wind is playing a factor here today, so we're not going to see really great passing from either team, but they're at least trying to strike downfield. They're putting the Invaders on notice, saying we can and will go long if we have to.
Another third and long for the Knights. Forsetti, say hello to Mr. Chandler. Wow, what Nick Forsetti shot out of a cannon.
He really did. That was a great call. Dial up that blitz at that time, and you'll see he just comes in untouched, and he just ran around the defenders, the offensive guys, the blockers, and drops him for a 5-yard loss.
A little more than that. He's all the way back at the 43. So Scranton has to punt into the wind again. Wyatt back. Scranton's going to take a 5-yard penalty, I think. There's a lot of confusion.
The play clock's already at 0, the 24-second clock.
A lot of confusion on who's in and who's out on the punt team. So instead of losing a timeout, they'll take the 5-yard loss. Now, if you're Cam Wyatt, you need to catch this, don't you? You don't want to let it bounce.
Look where, I mean, right now he's set up at the 35, and understandably he's not as deep as he should be because of the wind, but you want to catch this one. You want to get a return to set your offense up in good field position.
They kick away from him, and he picks it up on the fly. There is a flag down. Flag down as he comes up past the 40 to the 43. It might be illegal motion.
I saw Jesus Gonzalez pleading his case to the official, but we'll find out what the call actually is.
Mike Serra going to talk to Dennis Rishnak. Looks like they're going to make him punt it again. We have a couple injured players. No, we have one injured player. That's a West Scranton player.
That's on them. Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains 4th down. Timeout for injury.
I think it's Wyatt down. We'll check in on him. But first, we're going to go down to Hannah with a special guest.
All right, now everyone is here for football, but I'm here for the real star of the show. I'm with West Scranton's Miss Invader, Molly. First and foremost, let's look at this outfit. Glitter everywhere. Even the mask has glitter on it. Okay, guys, you can't get much better than that. Now, Molly, how did you get picked for this position?
This March, I had to make up a dance about 2.5 minutes to a band song that I put together from YouTube, and I had to audition in front of judges, and I got picked for it.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, how are things a little different because of the pandemic with practices and game days? Talk to me about that.
It's definitely a little different. We don't have as many pep rallies, and we usually cheer in the morning, so those are definitely different and things that we miss. But the captains and everyone on the team has really made sure that we bring school spirit even if we are online. And everybody's just worked so hard, and it's so amazing to watch everybody come together during this terrible time.
So how important is it for your school to win this game today?
I think it's very important to bring the bell home where it belongs, to West Scranton. But win or lose, West Scranton is always going to support its football team.
Well, thank you so much, Molly, for talking to us. Congratulations on the position.
Thank you.
Bob and Jan, back to you guys.
Congratulations to Miss Invader. We'll take a quick timeout. Left 2:08 remaining in the third. We are back. There's the punt by Scranton into the wind. And it takes a big, nice Invader bounce at the 44. Camden Wyatt walked off the field on his own accord. He was injured in the first half. And it looks like it's the ankle or below, somewhere around the leg, and we hope he's all right. So the Invaders pick up a couple yards on that. Not much, though, off the re-kick.
No, they didn't. And again, more importantly, they're starting at the 44, so they have very good field position to start. They have the wind at their back right now for another minute 58 until the quarter changes. And I would like to see Repshes maybe not start from under center, maybe in shotgun, to give him a little bit more time to get that ball downtown.
Give it to Harris. Gillette makes the stop after a 3-yard gain.
Bob, you had mentioned earlier that having a freshman in there, maybe the playbook is closed a little bit on him to gain him more confidence. There he is. There's Lipscomb again, doing what he does best, pulling and trapping, allowing Harris now to get a few yards up inside for the Invaders.
I'd like to see him get the ball to number 7, and even on a screen pass or something. He's out there on the edge, and it looks like he's got a cover. So Repchus trying to direct anyone. He's looking, and finally tears it down, holding the ball like a loaf of bread. Finally tucks it in, and he's going to be close to the first down inside the Knight territory.
He does a nice job. The offensive line does a nice job. They turn block, allowing him time to roll. He's setting again, but the Knights secondary coverage is obviously very good, covering them down. And Bob, you mentioned it. He's got to do a better job with the ball security.
Yeah, this being a freshman. So you think 2 plays here to get the first for West. Scranton looking to blitz. Repchus, nice job, and he will get a figure law first down for the Invaders at the 45. So they keep the drive moving, and have an injured Scranton Knight on the field with 1:02 remaining.
Right there, that's the injured player, 71. He's trying to maintain his ground, but he locked his legs out and then got rolled up upon.
Jesus Maldonado, 290-pound senior. So the Knights, well, they take on Delaware Valley here at home. They're scheduled to take on Hanover area the week after. We'll see if that happens. And then they'll end the season Friday the 30th again at Wallenpaupack.
Maldonado, all right, that's good to see that. He's up, he's walking off, and that's a little limber right now. He'll be fine, I'm sure. He's going to get checked out by the trainers. One thing we never talk about too much, Bob, are the trainers, the unsung heroes for all athletics here in all the high schools, how hard they work and what they have to go through. And it's really frustrating sometimes as a coach when you know a kid's hurt and you need him on the side to play. You don't want him on the sideline, but you always have to respect what the trainers are saying and doing, again, what's best for our kids.
Something we really talk about, both teams kind of don't use a lot of players on offense and defense, and not a lot of players going both ways. So on first down, Repchus over the middle. And in and out of the hand, a little bit behind Evanowski. He had him momentarily. Goes incomplete.
You'll see, again, offensive line, nice job. They're giving him a chance to throw. And again, we said he has a nice arm. That is very good technique. Again, just a little bit behind. The ball gets tipped up, and it was like in and out of their hands. And again, it didn't fall into a Knight's hands for an interception, more importantly.
Thompson there on the coverage. Ref's just going to look again. He has room to run if he wants. He has a lot of space. He picks up a figure law first down. Close to a late hit. I don't see a flag, but he's up to the 31.
Nice job. He's using his jets right now, his wheels down there, looking, checking, roll. And again, then he decides, let's just tuck it up and go. And again, great job stepping out of bounds, avoiding a hit.
Nice little drive, the best one of the afternoon for West Scranton. Let's see if they can convert it into points as we get near the end of the third quarter here in the 30th meeting in the Battle of the Bell. Blitz coming on to Repchus, and they get him. He holds on to the ball, but Chalette right there, along with Matt Reyes. Loss of 6.
You'll see right here, they end up double teaming guys on the defensive line, which allowed both linebackers to come in. When you are pass blocking, you're going to be, we always tell them, you're blocking with your eyes because you have to see and look for that blitz. So when the blitzer comes in, you're going to peel off your man and try to pick up the blitzer if you're doing a combo block.
So Coach Rishnak's not going to call a timeout with the wind behind his back, and I don't think there's going to, this quarter ends. So When we come back, West has the ball on the move, but the wind will be in their face. Can they score? We'll find out. The Knights continue to lead the Invaders 15-0. There's the Electric City Bell currently at Scranton High School. The Knights looking to keep it for the second year in a row. And there you see all the scratches and all the teams and schools who have won it over the long history here in the Battle of the Bell in downtown Scranton, the Electric City. Back for the fourth quarter, Bob Ide and Jan Cechek, Hannah O'Reilly with us. West Scranton on the move on second down. Samson Repshis finds Moet Wellington for a short gain. He'll bring up third down. And this is the best opportunity the Invaders have had all game.
It really has, and it's been a great drive. Now they just have to get the points on the board, and we're going to have ourselves a great, even better game. Again, short gain on that one, 2 yards. I'd like to see a little bit longer, but, you know, I'm not the one calling the plays right now.
No one scored in third. It was 15-0 Scranton at the half. Here comes the blitz. Little low as Repshis tried to get it out to Forsetti, but Forsetti wasn't even close to the near first down. So that brings up fourth down and long for West.
And you'll see right here, he's rolling to his right. Again, the ball was just got away from him. That wasn't even set for Nick Forsetti to even get his hands close to it.
Let's see what they call for the freshman quarterback. Nice crowd on hand, still staying here. We have a flag down.
Offense, number 8. 5 yards remains, fourth down.
So illegal procedure on the outside by Russell. That's not what you want if you're West. It was already fourth and long, now it's longer.
And you don't have anything, I know my play sheet, I didn't have too many fourth and long plays called.
Here comes a four-man rush. Repshis flushed and just throws the ball. He's having a tough time when he rolls out throwing the ball.
Especially when a right-handed quarterback's going to that left-hand side on that bootleg, and there's a little bit of trickle pressure coming in there. Nice job by the defensive line, really putting pressure on at the point of attack, and he throws that ball down away.
I think it was tipped too.
It was.
So the Knights hold. They continue to lead, and they have the ball with the wind at their back.
I would suspect that Coach Shumbrez is going to just try to grind this out right now, keep the ball on the ground, and keep it out of the Invaders' hands.
I concur.
I thought you were Bob.
No, I'm concurring. Thompson almost lost the ball in there. Well, he juggled that. Take a look at the replay, but that would have been costly. The junior almost coughed it up. Right? Oh, I think maybe he got a face mask.
Face mask on that. They didn't see it. His momentum was really going forward, so his head didn't snap back. And again, I think if the official saw his head turning around, they would have thrown that flag.
Oh, trying to get it to Chalette, and right through his hands. Stops the clock, brings up third down. And we have an injured player. Yep, right at the 50, some cramps again. Saw that last night in the Prep Western Wayne game.
Saw that a lot last night. That last play, they were trying to throw that speed screen out there. Real good play. Again, it's a short pass, not too risky, as long as the ball was thrown forward, which it was.
Some games today. Lake Lehman has taken care of Holy Redeemer, and Old Forge beat Holy Cross this afternoon. So Division II, the standings right now, these are the records within the division. So Prep with 2 wins within the division. They're only playing division games for most part. Valley View picked up their first win. First play for the Cougars last night.
Yes, it was.
Western Wayne dropped a game. West trying not to go to 0-2, and Honesdale is 0-2 on the year. Of course, Valley View forfeited against Delaware Valley. That is being challenged. So waiting on that for the Cougars. Next week, we have Lake Lehman traveling to take on Wyoming area down in Exeter. So we'll be right on that Friday night at 7 o'clock here on MyTV WQMY.
And the
let's take a look at
the defending state champs. They've had a rough schedule the first 4 games.
Dunmore taking on Lakeland. Of course, now Lakeland picking up a 6A school. That has a lot to do with points. And then right now we're scheduled for Hanover at Tunkhannock on the 30th. So back to the Knights and the Warriors. If you're the Warriors and it looks like AAA and District 2 is only taking the top 2 teams to play a championship game in November, you're already 2 games down. You need a win over Lake Lehman.
And again, to get a win over Lake Lehman, who has a great team this year, Coach Gilski's got those Knights going, would say send a statement to the rest of the AAA schools saying that Wyoming area, we're not done. It wasn't a 1-year deal.
Yeah, we're figuring 4 teams vying for those 2 spots. Scranton Prep and Lakeland up here in Lackawanna Football Conference, and Wyoming area and Lake Lehman down in the Wyoming Valley Conference. So be a lot different this year. The rush put on to the Invaders, take down Chandler for their first sack of the game. And it is Forsetti coming up from the bottom.
That's a nice job dialing that blitz up, coming off the edge. Look at Forsetti. No one gets that shoulder in, wraps, and then he's getting more help from the rest of those Invaders. Number 44 coming in, doing a great job. That was John Walsh. Again, that's nice. And now it's 4th and 14.
So good job by West Scranton to hold the Knights and try to get the ball back. Almost blocked it, or teases punt, and boy, that boomed. He got the wind behind him. It's going to take a huge roll, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. Boy, that's a booming punt.
That really was.
That's almost 60 yards.
And there was pressure in the punter's face there, too. So he got a great kickoff with pressure.
No doubt about that. That's
Nice
Lance.
job.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's Noah Lance, number 53, who was injured before.
Right. And he came back. And again, that would have been huge had he not come back, because now who do you got as not too many
Ortiz,
teams have.
I think.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't have too many second team punters ready to go or second team kickers.
Okay, 9:37 remaining in the game. The Invaders trying to get any points on the board, try to get that bell back. They had an opportunity last possession. All day for Repsius, over the middle, and nice diving catch. And cramping up, I believe, is that
Looks like number 8.
yeah, Russell, Al-Kabir Russell. He made a nice catch, but more importantly, it's a figure law first down for West.
I like what Repsius did on that one. He pump faked to his right and came back to his left. That was a nice job, nice ball.
You're seeing signs that they'll be okay at the court. He'll be a very good quarterback.
It's the growing pains sometimes that every team will experience, and they just have to endure and believe in what's going on in the system. And we've always heard this: trust the process. And again, we've seen a lot of teams, Wyoming area, Dallas, that have gone through that, and how successful both those teams and programs
Right
have
to the
been.
snap. False start. Offense. Number 23. 5 yards from previous spot. Remains first down.
So Invaders making a mistake there. Wellington moved. Now we'll back the Invaders up 5 as time continues to roll. Slavinsky looking to blitz. He backs off. Repsius with time. Gonna go long. Down to Wellington. One-on-one, and great coverage down there by Convanza. The senior knocked it away.
This is a real nice job by the offensive line for the Invaders. They give him time, and again, he sets up and throws a beautiful ball downtown, going there, and it's right there. They just got to look that in, but that was a great defensive play there to break that up.
Well, you never know. Just throw it up. You never know if your receiver's going to get it.
Well, we saw in last night's game, we saw a size differentials 3 separate times where Rossi just picked the ball up right over his shoulder, the defender's shoulder.
Raptures being flushed, has some room. Instead, nice throw. Let's see if Rossetti get a foot in. They're going to call it a completion up to the 40. So a gain of 12, and it brings up
third and
short. Yep, about 3 yards.
I think this is Rossetti's first reception of the game, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Great concentration. Look at that. He was looking, caught the ball, looked down to make sure that he had both feet in bounds for a reception.
Let's see if Raptures now can get on a roll, maybe get some confidence going.
They had a nice drive last time that stalled. Now maybe this time they continue it and they punch it in.
Stay on the ground. Harris up close to the line to gain. Going to be about a yard short. West will go for it, I'm sure.
They go with the outside zone on this. You'll see this play. Great catch. Right there's the hole opened up, but then the Knights, they flow to the ball and shut that door really quickly for a very short gain.
Let's see if the Knights will send the blitz with the freshman quarterback. Reps just, let's see the spot because he held the ball out and I think they're going to get it. I think it is a figure law first down for the Knights. Good job by the freshman QB. Put his arm out.
The official already signaled first down. Clock's winding. Nice job. Again, now Lipscomb on that one, he should have stepped with his left foot. He stepped with his right, allowing the penetration come in. It would have been a lot cleaner.
The Invader fans looking for a little bit of urgency from their team, trailing by 15. Well, not sure about the fake, and it's intercepted. There was a rush put on by Reyes, trying to set up a screen pass, and it is intercepted by the Scranton Knights.
You'll see right here that there was just a miscommunication. Number 50, as we call it, he opened the door, and Reyes did a great job pursuing the quarterback, putting that pressure on, making him throw that ball, and it gets picked off.
Noah Lance. Is there a turnover? Oh, I thought he was getting a turnover chain or something. So he was getting a big glass of water.
That's
fourth turnover of the game for the Invaders.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah.
That's not, again, there's going to be those growing pains when you have a freshman quarterback in there.
Yep. Reyes put the pressure on Repsius, and he just threw the ball, not really looking, and it caused the turnover. The Knights have good field position to start the drive, and they pick up about 4 on the first play of that drive. Now it's just you're going to milk the clock if you're Scranton.
I'm sure they'll take it down to 2 seconds every time now. As you said, Bob, let's just grind it out.
So Coach Shumbrish has gone with his junior quarterback Chandler all game. We have not seen Nate Colby at all, who had the more experience coming into the year. As Chalette is dropped back, third down on the way.
Here we go. Again, it's that power with the slot back coming to Chalette, lead blocking. And again, the Invaders do a nice job. They know what's coming. They just have to do a better job now on this third down to make sure they can force them into a punting situation.
Flag down on the play. Holding against the Knights.
56 and hold. Holding offense, Number 56. 10 yards from the spot. Remains 3rd down.
Nasir Green had a nice run on this too. They sealed down, and right there was the hold. You saw he turned them in, and he just grabbed them right by the shoulder pads. And obviously that's what sprung Nasir for that nice run, but all for nothing coming back.
And it's on 3rd down, so some players coming in and out for the Knights. On 3rd and long, a chance for West Scranton now to get the ball back after the interception. Chandler out to the flat to Gillette. Makes a move, cuts it back, and has a figure law 1st down to the 20, a 22-yard gain for Devin Gillette.
He's having a great game today. Devin is in the ground and in the air and on the ground. Again, nice rollout, perfect play. There was no one there, no linebacker coverage, and he does a nice job. I would like to see him again. We always tell the guys, spin to the outside, go away from where the help is coming.
Green powers ahead for a yard. Timeout, West. And we'll take a quick timeout ourselves. 4:38 remaining in the Battle of the Bell.
Welcome back to Scranton Memorial Stadium. We're here for the Bell game, and the energy is high in the stands. Here to talk more about that is Scranton High School sophomore Bella. Bella, talk to me about what it's like in the student section.
We're very lucky to be able to come out here with everything going on, so everyone's like really excited that we were able to come and cheer and stuff.
So now every school district is different on a day-to-day basis. What's it like being a Scranton High School student during these times?
Yeah, it's very different. We started off the year online, and so far we're still online. I'm not sure if we're going to be going back or not, but right now we're all online.
So it's even that more exciting to be here with your classmates today. Now, not only are you cheering these athletes on, you're an athlete yourself. Give yourself a little personal plug. What are your successes?
I do cross country and track, and last year I was the district champion. And coming up in a few weeks is districts again, so hopefully I could win.
Well, good luck. And guys, keep in mind, she's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Now, what would it mean for your school to win this game today?
It would mean a lot. We have the bell right now, so we'd obviously like to keep it. I think we're going to win. We're up right now. So.
Yeah, it's looking good for you guys. Well, good luck, and thank you so much for talking to us. Bob and Jan, back to you guys.
Well, good luck to Bella and all the runners, and just the fact that sports are being played at this point, you know, is a good thing for everybody. And it was touch and go all year long. I mean, everyone's doing a nice job following the guidelines, doing what they need to do to continue to play and run.
It is. It's very important, as Hannah was talking to Bella about that a lot of schools have gone virtual. They really haven't had too much social interactions, and that they're able to get out and run cross country, play their soccer games, field hockey, football. The bands, again, in the different high schools are doing virtually, and they're still allowed to come together to play. It's just been a great, great way to try to battle the COVID-19 social issues that these kids and everybody's having.
So there was a Keystone College timeout called by West Scranton. So 4th down now coming for the Knights. 3:45 away from keeping the bell for the 2nd year in a row after winning last year 41-7. So Charlie Thompson, sidecar. Chandler steps away from Versett and is almost caught for a touchdown by Sam Jones, and he can't believe it, he had it.
That was a nice job by Chandler getting that ball off with pressure right up in his face. You'll see it right here. Right there again. Nick Forsetti putting that pressure in and forcing him to throw that ball a little early. But again, that was a very catchable catch, and you saw the frustration on Jones right there.
Yeah, that's one that got away for Jones. Should have had it. So West takes over at the 24, trailing by 15. There's just one timeout left, and there you see how much time on the clock in the Battle of the Bell. Now they're going into the wind, and it's not as fast as it's been before. Maybe not. It picks up a little bit. Reps just with time. Looking for someone. Powers through the wind and caught by Forsetti.
Wow.
The tip drill.
That was great concentration, a little bit of luck thrown in there, but again, Nick Forsetti is the guy that they should be going to all season long, and that proves why he's that senior leader. Rolling out to his right, throws the ball, gets tipped. Look at this, one-handed, and he pulled it up.
I think he did. I don't think that hit the ground. Russell almost had it for Scranton. So it's a figure law first down. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Repshis can't get away from Slavinsky, pulls him down for the sack. 9-yard loss.
Well, the Knights are hanging 6 guys back deep, which really, when you only have 2 guys going out in the pattern right now, they're covering it up so well that Repshis has nowhere to go with it.
Slavinsky's played well today from his linebacker's position.
He has. Gillette's been contributing a lot in there too. But again, that defensive line, especially those 2 interior guys, are eating up a lot of space in there.
Repshis flings it out, and Walsh catches it but loses a yard.
Again, great pressure from the Knights coming in here. Repshis has a little bit of time. Again, he's in the gun, so he has a little bit more time to look. But again, we're just getting too much. They're bleeding too much up front with that pressure, not picking it up.
You see your Green, number 2, had Repshis by the legs. And he was lucky to get that one away to anyone. Clock continues to roll, and a long 3rd down play upcoming. West won the Bell 6-0 in 2018. And we're going to have a delay of game on the Invaders. That will back up the 5. So nice atmosphere here. Student section is very loud, but it looks like Scranton will maintain the Bell unless something miraculous happens. And this one just thrown away as, boy, Reps just took a hard hit. And we have a flag. I think we've got some jawing down on the field, as you might expect in a rivalry game.
That was Michael Slavinsky that laid the wood there on Repshis right there. And that forced the ball to go out really, really bad coming off his hand.
The referee will make the call. Clock does stop. Under 2 to play.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense, number 64, unnecessary roughness. 15 yards, it's still 4th down.
Brandon McCannon got called for that. Coach Chumbers brings him out. It will give West 15 yards, and it will still be 4th down. 4th and about 12. But Repshis has taken some hard hits the last couple of series.
And that last one really, really lit him up. But again, he's ready to go. He's back in there. They know they need this 1st down.
West will head up to Valley View next Friday night. Here comes the outside blitz down the middle, and it's caught. Nice catch by Al-Kabir Russell for a figure law 1st down. But there's a flag down, and we have roughing the passer, so that's going to help West add on to that big catch.
Look at this. There's a lot of pressure. Great job throwing the ball. He steps into it, puts that one right where it needed to be, and Russell comes up with a huge first down for the Invaders.
So the ball now down at the 15, timeout, Scranton Knights.
Scranton.
Wow, what a pass play. I don't know if we could see that again.
That was, for a freshman, getting hit like he's been getting hit just this series, steps in there and does a great job throwing a strike in there for a huge first down. Look at that. Good tight spiral. And again, Russell in double coverage jumps up and makes that reception.
So Keystone College timeout by the Knights. Here's what West has on tap again. They're going up to Valley View, then they're going to host Prep, and then host Honesdale.
That's a very tough schedule right there. They've got a meat grinder for the next 2 weeks.
It won't matter if they can get the bell, right?
That's true.
1:56 left. You have to score quickly and then onside kick.
Yes, and with only...
And you have to go for 2 at some point because you're down 15.
Yep.
So after the roughing the passer, the ball at the 15, they're inside the Allied Services red zone. And another timeout called by the Knights. 2 in a row. So they didn't like something on the defensive side.
Either they did. I mean, again, the Invaders didn't come out in any different type of formation. They just may not have had their personnel set the way they wanted it to get them ready for this. Again, right now the Knights are going to try to avoid letting them score. I mean, call me Captain Obvious on that one. But, Coach Schumbers, there's something there. I would love to pick his brain and ask him, what did you see? Why did you call that timeout that you were concerned about? And then maybe it's like icing the kicker possibly. You have a freshman quarterback in there. Give him a little bit more time to think as opposed to do.
If you're Scranton, I don't know if you play back, you got to put pressure on this quarterback. And they do. The outside blitz, here it comes. Reps just over the middle, and it's knocked down by Thompson. Trying to hit Russell again.
I apologize, here's the replay. Again, threw that a little bit behind, and again, we see that was a nice job by Harris with the tip.
Again, throwing into the wind. Very strong down on the field. Here comes the blitz again. Again to the end zone. And it is tipped away. Tipped away by Sam Jones, I believe, number 9. Another roughing the passer call. 2 in a row for Scranton.
Let's see where this comes from. That ball was away. Again, we don't see that, but that ball, again, was thrown inside. And again, lucky to avoid that, and then they are real fortunate to get that roughing the passer.
I think it was Gillette, number 1, who was coming from the edge. So now the ball's at the 7. First and goal for West. Raptures from the shotgun to the end zone. Intercepted by Gillette. Picked off in the end zone, and that will do it. Flags all over the place, but no matter what, the Knights will keep the bell. And it's a student who was at West last year and transferred, who makes the big play as a touchdown and an INT.
And here we go. Reps just rolling to his right. Had the receiver, but he overthrew him. And again, there was the cornerback peeled off, and Gillette does a nice job to seal this game for the Knights.
We're going to have some personal fouls, I think, against Scranton.
After this is from the 10-yard line. First down, Scranton.
But that should do it. Just one timeout left for West. The Invaders had the chance to at least cut the lead in half and maybe an onside kick. You just never know what happens.
And they put together some nice drives this second half. They weren't doing any 3 and outs. Again, long sustained drives. And again, I'm sure Coach Hareshnek is going to be talking to the guys saying, look, we're stopping ourselves. We've got to do a better job. We've got to finish, and we've got to get into the end zone.
So neither team scored in the second half, and Scranton, with that 15 first half points, will hold on to win their second Battle of the Bell in a row. Players of the game, Devin Gillette, who had an INT and a touchdown, and we're going to give it to Noah Lance for defense. He had that INT.
He was key to their success today to make sure that the Invaders couldn't move the ball.
We'll also give him a plaque, and maybe they can hang it next to the bell.
That would look really nice in the showcase, though, Bob. It really would.
Yeah, it would. Tell John Coyle, the principal, I suggested that.
And to take a picture so we can promote it.
So it wasn't pretty at times, but it was competitive.
And with inter-city school rivalry like this, that we saw some really good things today from both sides.
The Knights going to call their final Keystone College timeout. So under 1 minute to play here. And our doubleheader at Scranton Veterans Memorial Stadium coming to an end, Coach. I know you love this place. You want to sleep up here?
I slept here last night. Pretty comfortable up here, I got to tell you. I asked for a little bit of heat. They said no. But no, this is a great vantage point up here in Scranton's Memorial Veterans Stadium here. You get to see everything. We got a great bird's eye view up here. Our crew's done a tremendous job, as they always have, especially back-to-back night and day games. So hats off to everybody. I'm sure everybody down here in Lackawanna County in Scranton right now has enjoyed this game.
Thank you to the Scranton School District and to the maintenance staff here. Very cooperative in helping our crew out. And there's our schedule. It's always tentative. You never know the world we live in right now, what will happen. So if everything plays out, we will have the Knights and the Warriors next week. Then we'll be back in the LFC to see Dunmore and Lakeland, Hanover and Tunkhannock, and on Halloween, not listed, we're scheduled to have Valley View and Scranton Prep back here. So it's been part of the Scranton School District since 1953, donated from the Erie Railroad. It's the Silver Bell. Scranton Tech, Scranton Central, West Scranton, all had a piece of it. Scranton Knights now will win their second in a row, and I know Principal Coyle is happy they don't have to move that 2,000 piece of a bell to the other school. Well, I shouldn't say he's moving it, but the maintenance staff.
I'm sure the maintenance staff is even happier, as you are correct, Bob.
They don't have to move the bell. They're going to leave it where it is in Scranton High School. Final timeout taken by the Invaders. As the crowd starts to file out a bit here on a pleasant afternoon of high school football in the Electric City. Two very good days of football, Coach, and a great job, as you mentioned, by our staff. It's not easy lugging the cameras up here.
No. This Sunday, it's the Pennsylvania battle between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Carson Wentz will take his injury-riddled team on the road to battle the Steelers. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh is well rested after receiving an unexpected bye late last week due to COVID-19 positive cases with the Tennessee Titans team. Pre-game starts Sunday at noon, only on Fox 56.
West will probably get the ball back Unless they can pick up a first down. Gillette's still going, and Gillette has a figure law firm first down, and that will do it. I think no one is happier than Devin Gillette today on beating the West Scranton Invaders.
Well, there's nothing like getting a touchdown, an interception, and then a key first down at the end of the game to make sure that you could just kneel and get the victory for your new team.
And that will do it. The time will run out. And the Scrantonites keep the Electric City Bell by beating the Invaders from West Scranton. The final score, 15-0. When we return, Hannah O'Reilly down on the field with the winning team and our players of the game.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
So that student body is happy as they will retain the bell for the second year in a row. And Hannah O'Reilly is down on the field with our players of the game. Hannah?
I'm with Scranton High School's Devin and Noah. Guys, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Devin, big win over West Scranton. How's it feel?
It feels great, you know, like I went to this school last year, my past 3 years, and just coming to Scranton, I knew that with this team, with the work ethic we put in the offseason, that we'll win this game. And we practiced real hard. North Pocono, we didn't like how we felt after the game, so we practiced real hard starting Monday, and that got us the win.
Now, West Scranton's coach commended you guys for having some great runs, but besides what worked, any challenges out there today?
Yeah, they threw a lot of stuff at us that we didn't see on film, but I feel like at halftime we got it together, and that was the best position we put in ourselves in to win the game.
All right, big interception for you in the fourth quarter, Noah. Walk us through what was going through your head during that.
I was watching the rollout, and coach always preached to me all week about, watching the back coming out and sitting and waiting for any screen or any throwback possible. And I got to give credit to my coach Higgins. He's the one that put me in the position to get the pick.
Now you guys had the bell. Now you guys get to keep the title of Superior Scranton School. What does this win over West Scranton mean for you guys?
It means a lot to us. Coach preached all week the ability to play for a title midway through the season at any point. It's just amazing. It gives you a feel of adrenaline, and after last week, it was a good motivation we needed.
All right, guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
You get to keep that plaque.
Okay, sweet. Thank
All
you.
right, you're welcome. Bob and Jan, back to you guys.
Again, let's hang it next to the bell. That's what I'm preaching for. Hang that next to the bell. So congratulations to Devin and Noah. They retain the bell. And Coach, again, a competitive game, not clean at times, but still a very good rivalry that goes the Scranton Knights' way.
Well, we saw, and as coaches, we always wanted to see the progress from week 1 to week 2, and both sides did make progress. We saw a freshman quarterback now dropping back. They're opening up the playbook to allow him to do more. He got the ball into his playmakers' hands at times. We saw the Scranton Knights just do things good enough, especially on defense. I love the way that they were flowing and putting pressure with their defensive line on the Invaders all day.
So there's the final score again in the Battle of the Bells. Scranton with those 15 first half points win this one by shutting out the Invaders. Next week again, we'll have Lake Lehman at Wyoming area. We'll be on the air next Friday night at 7 o'clock. So thank you to the Scranton School District. Thank you to the both athletic directors for their help, and we especially thank our crew from Fox 56 Sports for their 2 days of hard work. So for Hannah O'Reilly and Jan Sechak, this is Bob Ide saying so long from the Electric City.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.